to my channel, Pure Village Vibes. I'm so glad you are here today. Today we are spending the day together doing very simple washing clothes by hands. Out here in the village, laundry day is not rushed. It is not noisy. It is not stressful, but slow, peaceful and full of memories. As I gather clothes today, I'm being reminded of how long ago laundry was not just a task. It was a whole experience. So today I prepare the water. I remember those days we start by soaking the clothes, letting the water soften the dirt. Also in the past they didn't always have soap like we do nowadays. Some used hash in washing, while others used natural plants from the bush. But still the clothes came out clean and fresh. Now, as I begin scrubbing my clothes slowly, gently, carefully, hand washing teaches patience. Each stain needs attention. Each fabric needs care. And there is no rush in this process. That is the beauty of it. Yeah. I remember a long time ago, mothers would sit by the riverbanks, at the lake, washing clothes while teaching their children important lessons. They would say, work hard. For example, my mother will tell you, work hard and everything will be clean. Take your time and you will do it well. These were not just words for washing clothes, but they were lessons for life. So as I continue scrubbing, listen to the sound of water. It's calming, isn't it? This is the kind of peace many people miss today. Because we don't have machines, there is no distractions, just joy. Your hands and your thoughts. Yeah. I rinse the clothes slowly, watching the water run clear feels satisfactory. It feels satisfying, and you know that the work is paying off. There is something special about using your hands. You feel everything, the fabric, the water, the effort. It connects to you, what you are doing, unlike the washing machines. And washing reminds me that every clean cloth comes from effort and care. Yes. And as children, we will sit and listen, not realizing at the time that those moments were teaching us so much. So I'm here hanging the clothes now. I gently squeeze the water out of the clothes one by one, taking my time. There is no hurry, because in the village we believe good things take time. So therefore we hang the clothes outside under the sun, and as you can see, the sun is strong today and is perfect for drying. I remember a long time ago, this was the final step. Clothes dancing in the wind and the smell of fresh air, not forgetting the warmth of the sun. For sure, nothing compares to that natural freshness. So as I hang clothes, I feel sense of satisfaction, and that the work is done, but the peace remains. Laundry day may seem like a simple chore, but in the village it is more than that, because it's learning and it's a connection. Yes. Yes. So after finishing the first batch and hanging them on line to dry, I take a short moment to rest, then continue with another batch of clothes. Here the process is the same, just like before, which is soaking them in water, letting the dirt loosen slowly. Then one by one I begin to scrub. I scrub carefully and patiently, because here in the village work is often done in batches like this. You don't rush things. You just keep going step by step. Yes. As I continue with the second batch, even though it feels like the same work as before, each piece still needs attention. So this is where patience truly grows. Yes. Because you repeat the same process, but with the same care each and every time. Yeah, unlike nowadays, sometimes back families had many clothes to wash, and they were used to washing using hands. They will spend almost the whole day by the river or lake, washing one batch after another. And as they wash, they'll talk, they laugh, they rest, and then they continue again until they finish. So now as I continue with this second batch, I'm reminded that life itself is like this, because we repeat many things, but each still matters a lot. Yes. And now, just like before, we rinse the second batch as we prepare them for drying. Yes, we rinse until the water becomes clean. Yeah. As I continue washing, I remember a story my grandmother once told me long time ago. She was still a young girl by then, and there was a season of great hardship in the village. Water was scarce, and people had to walk long distance just to find a small stream. But even then, laundry still had to be done. She said one morning she woke up before sunrise and she carried a small bundle of clothes and walked with her mother to the river. The journey was not that long. It was a quiet journey and tiring. But along the way, her mother kept encouraging her. She told her, "Be strong. Life will always ask for your effort." And when they reached the river, the water was very little. Not like the flowing rivers we see nowadays, no. They had to be careful, using just enough water to wash each cloth. Even a drop mattered by then. And as they washed, other women began arriving, and each carrying their own burdens, but also bringing strength to one another. No one complained, but instead they shared stories. Some laughed, and some encouraged each other. And somehow the work became lighter. My grandmother said that on that day taught her something she never forget. That even in difficult times, people can still find peace in simple work. And that working together makes every burden easier. Yeah. As I wash these clothes today, I think about that story my grandmother told me. And my mind questions how strong they were, how patient they were by then, and how they never gave up. Even when things were hard. Sometimes we take these simple things for granted. For example, water, soap, and time. But a long time ago, these were not always easy to find. Not like nowadays. Yeah. Let us continue washing. Yes. As I continue with hanging this second batch, I'm reminded of another story, one that was often told in the village. There was once a young woman who was newly married and living in a small, far home from the river. Every week, she had to walk a long distance to fetch water, wash clothes, wash dishes. At first, she found it very difficult. The work felt heavy and the journey felt long. And sometimes she would feel tired and discouraged. So one day, as she sat by the river washing clothes, an older woman noticed her silent, which was not normal. Therefore, she came closer and gently asked the woman, "Why do you look so troubled?" The young woman said, "This work is too much for me. The walking, the washing, carrying water back home. I don't think I am strong enough." The old woman just smiled, and without saying much, she picked up a cloth and began to wash beside her, slowly and patiently. And then she told her, "Strength does not come all at once, but it grows with every step you take and every task you finish." Therefore, they continue washing clothes, laughing, talking, sharing stories, and before they realized it, the young woman had finished all her clothes. That day, she did not feel tired at all. Instead, she felt very strong. And from that moment on, she no longer saw laundry as a burden, but as part of her growth. Therefore, as I wash these clothes today, I also think about that story. And I'm reminded that even the simplest work is building something inside us. Like, for example, patience, strength, and resilient. Yeah. Sometimes what feels like hard work is actually preparing us for something greater. So as I continue washing clothes, I also take my time, step by step, just like the woman I've shared did. Yes. So now I rinse the clothes again. As I watch the water carrying everything away and feeling lighter with each step completed. Yes. I have also remembered a story once told by my mother that there was once an elderly woman in the village. She lived alone, and that every day she did her work quietly. For example, fetching water, washing clothes, cooking her meals. Slowly, she used to do them slowly but consistently. So people often wondered, how does she manage all this alone without even complaining? So one day, a young person asked her, "Grandmother, don't you get tired at times?" She just smiled gently and said, "My child, I do get tired, but I have learned something about life. If you focus on how heavy the work is, you will give up. But if you focus on finishing one small task at a time, you will always move forward. Life is not about doing everything at once. It is about continuing. Even when you feel tired, you continue doing what you are doing." The young person stayed silent for some time, thinking deeply about the grandmother's words. And from that day on, they began to approach life differently. Not rushing, not complaining, but taking each step one at a time. Yes. Yeah. So as I stand here now, looking at the clean clothes, the washed basins, and the quiet surroundings, I understand those words even more. Sometimes it's the small things we do every day that shape who we became. So whatever you are going through, remember this: you don't have to do everything at once. Just take it one step at a time and keep going. Thank you for spending this peaceful day with me. And kindly subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you so much.